Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing something a little different. Instead of a typical story or lesson, you'll get to listen in on a fictional conversation between two people as they share their daily routines. But this isn't just ordinary small talk. Through their words, you'll hear unusual habits, hidden emotions, and the little quirks that make everyday life unique. Think of it like eavesdropping on a conversation you weren't supposed to hear. Personal, natural, and surprisingly relatable. So sit back, listen closely, and see what details you connect with, and maybe even reflect on your own daily rituals.
You know what I realized this morning? I spend more time talking to my plants than to actual humans before noon.
That's not sad, that's charming. Do they answer back?
In their own way, the basil droops if I forget to mist it, the snake plant tolerates me no matter what, and the orchid, well, the orchid's basically a diva.
That's better company than my mornings. My alarm goes off at 6:30, and I immediately negotiate with myself like a hostage situation. 10 more minutes and I'll do yoga, I swear. Spoiler, I don't.
So what do you do instead?
I scroll through old photos. Not new ones, not social media, just random shots from 5, 6 years ago. Sometimes it's blurry pictures of my shoes, sometimes it's my grandma's kitchen. It's like I need proof I've existed before I can start the day.
That's strangely profound. I get it though. I reread my high school journals every so often, just a page or two while I eat breakfast. Reminds me that the world felt enormous back then, and my problems were microscopic.
See, that's the thing. My mornings are about convincing myself I've survived. Yours are about reminding yourself you were once smaller or maybe less complicated. Breakfast used to mean cereal and cartoons. Now it's which email will ruin my mood before 9 a.m. Emails. Ugh. You know what I do? I light a candle before opening my laptop, like I'm about to summon something terrible.
That's either witchcraft or the healthiest coping mechanism I've ever heard.
It's both. The scent is lavender, but the intention is pure defense.
I love that. My version is socks.
Socks?
Yeah, I refuse to put them on until I'm completely ready to step outside. Otherwise, it feels like I've wasted them, like they have absorbed indoor dust before they even get to see the world.
You make socks sound like little soldiers waiting for deployment.
They kind of are. Once they're on, I know the day's officially begun.
Funny. I'm the opposite. Shoes make it real for me. Socks, I can fake, but once the shoes are tied, there's no going back.
So what's the first real thing you do once the shoes are on?
I count stair steps. My building has 34, but I only count them if I'm descending, never on the way up.
Why only down?
Going up, I'm already dreading the climb. Counting would make it worse. Going down, though, it's like I'm measuring freedom.
That's actually kind of poetic.
And you, once the socks are on?
I put on a playlist I've been curating since college. Same songs, shuffled differently. It's like the soundtrack of a life I've been editing for 10 years.
Do you ever add new ones?
Rarely. New songs feel like strangers barging into a family reunion.
That's so specific. But I get it. Some routines are about control, right?
Exactly. Without them, the day feels like a loose thread, and I'm afraid if I pull too hard, the whole sweater unravels.
Yeah, same here. My grandma used to tell me that how you begin the day decides the shape of it. I think that's why I cling to my photo habit. If I don't remind myself where I came from, the day feels shapeless.
That's beautiful. You ever wonder, though, what would happen if we broke our routines completely? Like, woke up and did none of it?
I tried that once. It was a disaster. I didn't light the candle, didn't look at photos, didn't even make coffee. By noon, I felt like a ghost haunting my own apartment.
I did that too. Skipped the socks, the plants, the playlist. Thought it would make me feel free. Instead, I felt like a stranger in my own life.
Maybe routines aren't cages then. Maybe they're imprints. Proof that we're ourselves every day.
I like that. A daily signature.
Exactly. And signatures can be messy, but they still belong to you.
So, plants, socks, photos, Stair steps, playlists, candles. That's what we're made of.
And emails, unfortunately. Don't forget those.
True. Even ghosts get spam.
Maybe someday we'll look back and laugh at all these little rituals, or maybe they'll be the only things we remember clearly.
Either way, I hope my socks make the cut.
And my stair counts. Deal?
Deal.
You ever notice how mornings feel like a different world depending on what you do first?
What do you mean?
Well, if I brush my teeth before coffee, the coffee tastes weird. If I drink coffee first, then brush, the toothpaste tastes like minty mud. Either way, something's ruined.
Ah, the eternal war between hygiene and caffeine. For me, it's socks.
Socks?
Yeah. If I put them on too early, they feel contaminated by the floor before I even leave the apartment. So I walk around barefoot until the exact moment I'm ready to go out. It's like my tiny protest against the universe.
That's actually kind of poetic. My mornings aren't poetic. They're negotiations. I argue with my alarm clock, then with my cat, then with myself.
Your cat argues back?
Always. He knocks my glasses off the nightstand if I pretend I can't hear him. Breakfast is non-negotiable to him.
I envy that certainty. My mornings feel like I'm trying to remember who I am. I make this elaborate pour-over coffee, measuring grams of beans, timing the bloom, and halfway through I'm like, why am I pretending to be a barista?
Maybe because ritual feels safer than chaos?
Or maybe because ritual hides the chaos. You know, if I grind the beans just right, maybe no one will notice I forgot to pay my electricity bill last week.
Oof, too real. I once spent 20 minutes arranging fruit in a bowl just so I wouldn't have to open my emails.
That's art. That's not avoidance, that's installation work.
Tell that to my boss. Anyway, once I finally leave the house, I have this weird habit. I count doorways on my walk to the station. I don't even know why. It's not like I'm superstitious, it just calms me.
Doorways?
Yeah, like, that's number 5. That's number 6. Sometimes I'll lose track and it bothers me more than it should.
That's oddly beautiful. Like you're measuring thresholds. You're noticing every little transition while the rest of us just plow forward.
Huh. Never thought of it like that. What about you? Any hidden habits once you're out in the world?
I memorize strangers' shoes. Don't ask me why. I can't remember their faces, but I'll remember the red sneakers with the frayed laces or the leather boots with a missing heel cap.
That's fascinating. It's like you're cataloging lives by footsteps.
Or avoiding eye contact. Depends how you frame it.
Touché. You ever get tired of how much we pretend?
What do you mean?
Pretend that routines are normal, that they're just practical. But really, they're little shields. Like, if I follow my steps exactly, maybe I won't fall apart.
Yeah, I get that. My coffee routine, definitely a shield. If I skip it, the day feels unfinished. Like I've walked out the door half-dressed.
Do you ever change it up?
Once, I skipped coffee and went straight to tea. Spent the entire day thinking someone had swapped me for a parallel version of myself. Couldn't focus.
Parallel speaker 2 sounds anxious.
Oh, he was. Probably still is. What about you? Do you ever break your doorway count?
Once last winter, I was rushing, didn't count a single one. Made it to work early, but I felt, I don't know, displaced. Like I wasn't really in my own day.
That's the thing about routines. They're anchors, but anchors can trap you too.
True. But maybe that's why we cling to them, to trick ourselves into thinking the day is ours.
You know, this is the first time I've actually told someone about the shoe thing.
And I about the doorways. Feels less weird when it's shared, doesn't it?
Definitely. Almost makes me wonder if everyone has some secret quirk like that hidden in the folds of their day.
Maybe that's what makes us human. Not the big decisions, but the strange, tiny ones no one sees.
So basically, you and I are both held together by socks, cats, shoes, and doorways.
And coffee. Don't forget coffee.
Right. Without coffee, there's no civilization.
Or toothpaste wars.
Or misplaced parallel selves.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind meeting parallel me. Maybe she figured out how not to spill oatmeal on her shirt every other morning.
Or maybe she still does, but she doesn't care.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Sometimes I think the real luxury isn't changing our routines. It's not being afraid of them.
Huh. That's actually profound for someone obsessed with socks.
And that's profound for someone counting invisible doorways.
Touché.
You ever feel like your mornings are less about waking up and more about reassembling yourself?
Reassembling? That's an odd way to put it.
Well, I wake up scattered. Like, my brain is in the pillow, my patience is in the blanket, and my motivation is hiding in the corner. So I make coffee, not because I need caffeine, but because the smell convinces all the parts of me to gather again.
That's actually brilliant. My version is brushing my teeth 3 separate times. Once when I first get up, again after breakfast, and then, don't laugh, a just-in-case brush before leaving.
3 times? You're either extremely hygienic or secretly terrified of dentists.
Both. But also, it's my way of saying, okay, now you're ready for the world. Otherwise, I feel unfinished.
That word, unfinished, fits. My routine is less about efficiency and more about convincing myself I exist. I keep a bowl of marbles on my dresser. Every morning, I take one, slip it into my pocket, and carry it all day.
That's unusual. What's the point?
It's weight, a reminder. Whenever I touch it, I remember that the day is temporary, just like the marble. At night, I put it back. It feels like closing a circle.
That's oddly poetic. I don't have marbles, but I do something similar with sounds. I whistle one note, always the same C note before locking my door, like I'm sealing the day with music.
So you leave your house whistling spells, and I leave mine carrying pebbles of memory. No wonder we're friends.
What about lunch? Mine's predictable. A sandwich, eaten at my desk, scrolling through articles I'll never finish.
Oh, lunch is where my chaos shines. I refuse to eat the same thing twice in a week. Even if it's terrible, I'll try something new. Yesterday I had pickled radish tacos. Disgusting, but now I know.
You're an explorer, I'm a prisoner. My desk chair has basically molded to my body shape.
And yet you don't rebel.
Sometimes secretly, like I set alarms on my phone labeled with nonsense. Dance break at 2:14. I don't dance, but I read the notification and smile like I almost might.
That's sweet. My rebellion is talking to plants in my office, out loud. I ask them about their day. I swear the fern perks up when I gossip.
You're giving your fern a social life. I envy that. My houseplants probably think I'm mute.
Try it. Worst case, you feel silly. Best case, you'll bond.
And evenings?
Evenings are delicate. I light one candle at 8 p.m., no matter what I'm doing. Cooking, working, doom scrolling. That candle marks the shift from public life to private life. It's like crossing an invisible border.
That's beautiful. I have the opposite ritual. I turn on every single light in my apartment the second I get home, like I'm fighting shadows.
Fighting shadows. Do you actually feel safer or just less alone?
Both. I grew up in a house where the hallways were always dark, and I hated it. So now my routine is reclaiming brightness.
That explains it. Mine's about narrowing the world to one small flame. Yours is expanding it into daylight.
And yet we meet in the middle here, talking. Strange how routines, no matter how different, always come back to connection.
True. People see routines as boring, but they're like fingerprints. No two are the same.
Or like secret codes. You touch marbles, I whistle C notes. Nobody else knows those details.
And those details are the only thing holding the chaos of life in place.
Do you ever wonder what happened if you broke your pattern? Like if you left without the marble?
I'd probably feel untethered all day. But maybe someday I should try, just to see if I'm more than my rituals.
I think about that too. What if I stopped brushing my teeth 3 times? Would I unravel, or would I discover I was fine all along?
Maybe routines are like training wheels. They're not the bike, but they help us balance.
Until we dare to ride without them.
Until then, I'll keep carrying marbles and you keep fighting shadows.
Deal. And if we ever change, we'll tell each other first. Someone has to bear witness to the new versions of us.
Someone has to notice when the map is redrawn. You ever notice how mornings feel like negotiations with yourself?
Negotiations? That's dramatic.
No, think about it. My alarm goes off at 6:30 and I spend 5 minutes bargaining. If I skip stretching, I can stay in bed until 6:35. If I don't shave, maybe 6:40. Every day is a treaty between my lazy side and my disciplined side.
I get that. For me, it's not bargaining, it's superstition. I can't leave the bed until I've touched the wall with my left hand. It started as a silly habit during college, and now if I skip it, I swear my whole day feels cursed.
So you have a personal good luck charm built into your routine. That's oddly comforting.
Maybe, but it makes me wonder, how many of my choices are mine and how many are rituals I can't escape?
I think about that too. Like my coffee thing. I grind beans by hand every morning, even though I could just buy pre-ground. It's noisy and takes forever, but the sound of the grinder, it's like a daily thunderstorm. Without it, I feel incomplete.
That's poetic, but exhausting. You know what I do while my kettle boils? I recite the same poem. Out loud. Frost's Nothing Gold Can Stay. Every single morning.
Seriously?
Yep. 8 lines, takes less than a minute. It's my anchor. If I don't say it, I feel untethered, like the day will dissolve.
You're telling me you're basically casting a spell over your tea.
Exactly. A spell for stability.
I get it though. I keep a notebook by the sink. Every time I brush my teeth, I write down one sentence. Whatever's in my head. Usually nonsense. Last week I wrote, "Bananas are just confused moons."
That's gold. Do you reread them?
Rarely. I think of it more like leaving breadcrumbs for my future self, just in case he wants to know where my brain wandered.
I love that. I leave breadcrumbs too, though, in a different way. Every night I stack 3 books on my nightstand, 1 novel, 1 essay collection, and 1 random thing, cookbook, travel guide, whatever. I rarely read them, but the stack makes me feel like my mind has options.
Options as comfort. That's interesting. I'm the opposite. My nights are rigid. I listen to the same song, no lyrics, just cello, for exactly 4 minutes. Then I sit in the dark until the track ends. That's my reset button.
Isn't it eerie sitting in silence after music?
Eerie but necessary. It's like shaking the etch-a-sketch of my brain before sleep.
You're way more structured than me. I wander. Like every evening, I stand at my window for 10 minutes and invent backstories for the people walking their dogs. Yesterday, I decided a woman with a dachshund was secretly a retired jewel thief.
That's brilliant. You're basically populating your neighborhood with characters.
Maybe it's loneliness, honestly. If I imagine their lives, I feel less like a ghost.
I know that feeling. Sometimes I walk home the long way, past this bakery I never enter. I just breathe in the smell of bread from the street. It's like borrowing comfort without paying for it.
That's beautiful and sad at the same time.
Most routines are both, don't you think? Tiny negotiations between joy and fear.
True. Like I always eat breakfast standing up, never at the table. I don't know why. Maybe it feels too formal. Standing makes it feel temporary, like I'm not committing to the day just yet.
I do the opposite. I sit cross-legged on the floor with my plate. Makes me feel like I'm grounding myself before everything spins.
It's wild, isn't it? These little details no one sees. People just assume we wake, eat, work, sleep. But under that, we're drawing invisible lines, touching walls, grinding beans, muttering poems.
And if anyone interrupted, they'd think we were strange.
We are strange. That's the point. Routines are secret languages with ourselves.
Do you ever worry that if one piece falls apart, like if your kettle broke or my grinder jammed, you'd unravel?
Every day. But maybe that's why we invent new rituals, right? Humans can't stand being unmoored. We'll always find another anchor.
True. Maybe tomorrow I'll borrow one of yours. Whisper frost into my coffee steam.
And I'll imagine every passerby is a retired jewel thief.
Deal. Routines traded.
Funny thing is, when we talk about them like this, they don't feel small anymore. They feel like secret architecture holding our lives together.
Yeah. Ordinary bricks building extraordinary walls.
Or windows. Depends on the day.
You know what's weird? I can't start my mornings unless I draw a line across a piece of paper. Just one straight line. Doesn't matter if it's perfect or crooked. It's like I need proof the day exists.
A line? That's your ritual?
Yeah. No coffee, no shower. Just pen to paper. Sometimes I keep the paper, sometimes I crumble it and toss it. It's like a daily receipt.
That's oddly poetic. My mornings start with noise, an alarm I never actually hear. My cat Rumi jumps on my chest at 6:45 every day, claws just sharp enough to get the message across. He's my furry alarm clock.
That sounds painful.
Painful, yes, but also grounding. I always thought I'd resent it, but the truth is, it reminds me I'm not alone. Like, before I even stand up, another creature has acknowledged my existence.
I envy that. My apartment's too quiet. I play recordings of busy streets while brushing my teeth.
Wait, you fake city noise?
Yep. I found these old recordings of Paris traffic online. Cars honking, snippets of conversations in French. It tricks me into believing the world is already awake and I'm not lagging behind.
That's brilliant. Meanwhile, I stand at my window every morning with a glass of water and just watch the neighbors' curtains.
The curtains.
Yeah, there's this elderly couple across the street. They open their curtains at exactly 7:05. I don't know why, but seeing them pull the strings makes me feel synced with humanity. Like, okay, they're up, I'm up, let's do this.
That's wholesome. Mine's a little darker. I never eat breakfast at the table. Always on the floor, against the fridge. It's the only place I feel like food tastes honest.
Honest?
Yeah. When I sit at the table, I feel like I'm supposed to pretend. Like I should be civilized, arrange napkins, chew politely. But on the floor, I'm just a creature with cereal. There's no performance.
I get that. I have something similar. I can't drink my coffee until I've smelled the mug. Not the coffee, the actual mug. I've convinced myself every mug has its own mood.
That's bizarre. Do mugs have personalities too?
Absolutely. The chipped blue one, that's my hopeful but fragile mug. The heavy white one is my don't mess with me mug. And the clear glass mug, that's pure honesty.
You sound like a mug whisperer.
Maybe. But these tiny rituals, they glue the day together. Without them, I'd unravel.
Same. Like after work, I walk home the long way. It adds 20 minutes, but I stop at this one alley where someone painted a mural of a giant whale. Every day, I check if it's fading more. That whale is like my personal hourglass.
That's kind of haunting.
Yeah, but it keeps me present. Reminds me that even beautiful things deteriorate slowly in front of us.
You and your existential breakfast floor musings. Do you know what mine is? I write down a word, just one random word before bed. Doesn't matter what it is. Fern, echo,
tinfoil. Then the next morning, I try to use that word in a conversation.
That explains why you said cabbage 3 times yesterday while we were talking about movies.
Exactly. It forces me to stitch the previous day into the new one, like I'm threading continuity.
I love that. My version is letters to no one. At night, I write a short note, just a few lines, to a made-up person. Could be a fisherman, a pilot, a child in 1912. I never sign it, just fold it and tuck it into a shoebox.
That's beautifully strange.
Maybe it's loneliness. Maybe it's practice. I don't know. But the shoebox is heavy now. And somehow that makes me feel lighter.
I think routines are like anchors. They don't stop the storm, but they stop us from drifting too far away.
Yeah. And sometimes they're secret, like invisible strings no one sees, but they're holding us upright.
Do you ever worry, though, that if you let go of one, just one, the whole structure collapses?
All the time. That's why I draw the line every morning. If I skip it, I feel like I've erased myself before I even began.
And if I skipped watching the curtains, I'd feel like I missed the world's opening scene.
Funny. We live these tiny private rituals and no one knows. To the outside world, we're just ordinary people walking to work, sipping coffee, staring at our phones.
But inside, we're counting steps, smelling mugs, listening to Paris traffic, befriending whales on brick walls.
Makes life feel less ordinary, doesn't it?
Or maybe more ordinary, but in a way that's extraordinary.
I like that. The extraordinariness of the ordinary.
Exactly. And tomorrow, you'll draw your line, and I'll wait for the curtains. And the world will keep spinning.
And somehow, that will be enough.